Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to the press conference of the State Council Information Office. Chang'e-6 Mission is a complete success. It's a pleasure to have with us today Mr. Bian Zhigang, Vice Administrator of China's National Space Administration. He will brief us on the Chang'e-6 mission and take your questions. We're also joined by Mr. Hu Hao, Chief Designer of the Chang'e-6 Mission, Mr. Lin Yiming, Vice President of China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, Mr. Liu Yunfeng, DDG of the Department of International Cooperation, CNSA, Mr. Li Chunlai, Deputy Chief Designer of the Chang'e-6 Mission, researcher of the National Astronomical Observatories and Chinese Academy of Sciences. Now I give the floor to Mr. Bian Zhigang. Good afternoon, friends from the media. Thank you very much for your attention, support, and the coverage of the Chang'e-6 mission, the latest step in China's lunar exploration program, CLEP. And we have the models of Chang'e-6 and CCTV in the front. At 2:07 p.m. Tuesday, the Chang'e-6 re-entry capsule, carrying the first-ever samples obtained from the moon's far side, accurately landed in Siswan Banner in Inner Mongolia, marking a complete success of the mission. President Xi Jinping sent a congratulatory message, saying that the Chang'e-6 mission is a new landmark achievement in building China's strength in space and in science and technology. All participants in the mission have been greatly honored and encouraged. Phase 4 of the CLEP is a major space program personally approved by President Xi Jinping. This fully shows the great attention to the space industry from the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, and the unique advantages of the system of mobilizing all available resources nationwide. On the occasion of the upcoming third plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee, the achievement of Chang'e-6, recovering the first sample from the far side, has inspired the whole nation and attracted global attention. Over the past 3 months, we and the people in all lines of work have kept a close watch on Chang'e-6. On March 20th, the CCTV relay satellite was launched to provide communication support. On May 3rd, the Long March 5 Y-8 carrier rocket was launched on time, sending the Chang'e-6 probe into its moonward trajectory. With the support after 11 phases, Earth-Moon transfer, peri-Lune braking, pairwise separation, lunar landing, surface, and underground sampling, taking off from the lunar surface, rendezvous and docking, sample transfer, lunar orbit stay, Moon-Earth transfer, as well as atmospheric entry, Chang'e-6 finally returned to Earth with the rich games. This is a journey of exploration. The geological structure and the material composition of the far side and early cosmic environment are shrouded in mystery. Chang'e-6 chose to land on the edge of the Apollo crater in the northeast of the South Pole Actic Basin, the oldest, largest, and the deepest known crater on the Moon. By analyzing the samples collected from this site, scientists are expected to unravel more scientific mysteries, such as the evolution of the solar system and the Moon. This is a journey of innovation. The Chang'e-6 mission is the most technologically advanced lunar mission in China's space history so far. It achieved 3 technological breakthroughs and 1 world's first. Breakthroughs in the design and control technology of the lunar retrograde orbit, the intelligent sampling technology of the far side, and the takeoff and ascent technology from the far side. and the world's first automatic far-side sampling and return, once again creating a new engineering marvel. At the same time, new materials such as basalt fiber and new technologies such as smart mobile cameras used to display the national flag on the far side can make their way into people's daily life and raise standards of living. This is a journey of cooperation. The mission carried 4 scientific payloads from France, ESA, Italy, and Pakistan, and obtained valuable first-hand scientific data. We also carried out cooperation in the field of measurement and control. Heads of space agencies and international organizations and diplomatic missions were invited to witness the launch. After its success, heads of space agencies and international organizations and our foreign counterparts and friends expressed congratulations to us. And on behalf of CNSA, I would like to express our gratitude to all of them. We encourage scientists at home and abroad to jointly carry out research on lunar samples and data and strive for more scientific accomplishments. I wish to point out that this year marks the 20th anniversary of the CPC Central Committee decision to implement the Lunar program. In the past 20 years, we have achieved successive victories by following the prepared blueprint and working steadily, and realized the Chinese dream of flying to the moon. The program brought together tens of thousands of researchers and engineers from thousands of enterprises and institutes at universities across the country, cultivated the spirit of lunar exploration, trained a large number of technology and management professionals, formed a successful model for delivering major scientific and technological programs, built up capabilities for deep space exploration, and carved out a path of high-quality and efficient lunar exploration. After each mission completed, we ran additional tests to pave the way for following missions. Taking the scientific findings as example, Chinese and foreign scientists have published more than 1,900 papers using data from China's lunar programs. From the Chang'e-5 lunar samples, Chinese scientists discovered the 6th new mineral on the moon and named it Chang'e Site Y. Research has proven that magma activity still existed on the moon 1.96 billion years ago, which extended the non-geological life of the moon by 1 billion years. The global studies on lunar samples have entered the Chang'e era. Our endeavors have tremendously expanded mankind's knowledge about the moon and the universe. Ladies and gentlemen, the outer space is immense, and humanity's exploration is infinite. Follow-up missions such as Chang'e-7, Chang'e-8, and the Tianwen-2, as well as Tianwen-3, have been moving ahead as planned. CNSA is committed to carrying out in-depth international exchanges and cooperation on the basis of equality, mutual benefit, peaceful utilization, and shared benefit. We look forward to working with more international counterparts to contribute to expanding human understanding, improving human well-being, and building a community with a shared future for mankind in outer space. Thank you. My colleagues and I will take your questions.
Now the floor is open to questions. Please identify your media outlets before asking questions.
好，谢谢中国日报记者提问。那么昨天下午呢，嫦娥6号探测器的返回舱呢，在北京开舱了。
Yesterday, the module of Chang'e-6 returned. We want to know how many grams of samples were collected and what are the difficulties and challenges that the module has encountered in this mission, and how is the Chang'e-6 mission different from the Chang'e-5?
I will give the floor to Mr. Hu Hao.
嫦娥6号任务呢和嫦娥5号任务一样，我
Just like the Chang'e-5, Chang'e-6 mission, its goal is 2 kilos. So our sample containers are designed to hold about 2 kilos.
I want to share you with one information. Maybe you won't know this until tomorrow, so please wait patiently. You will surely see a lot of good news. The second question is that, which has been asked for the reporter, what challenges have we faced? Chang'e-6 is actually a plan B of Chang'e-5, because this is a new challenge for us to explore the far side of the moon. We have 3 major challenges. First, the quality and reliability of the mission, because it's when it comes to aerospace and space mission, it's very complicated, and the module used for this mission has been produced during the time when Chang'e-5 was launched as a backup module, so it's been a long time passing. How to deal with these components, how to upgrade them, is a major challenge for us. So, to ensure the success of this mission, on the basis of the components already in place during the launch of Chang'e-5, we have updated some of the components to ensure its credibility. And also, this is a very large mission that involves not only the work in space, but also here on the ground. So many equipments have been produced during the launch of Chang'e first. So we have to ensure the quality and reliability of this module this time, to ensure the robustness of the system. This is also the first challenge. To ensure that we can complete the mission, we must ensure all the components are robust, ensure the health of the rocket. The second challenge is the changes in technologies, because we need to land and collect samples from the far side of the moon. This will add a lot of uncertainties to us, so we need to adapt to the changes in the conditions in the moon. At far side of the moon, you cannot communicate directly. We need to have a relay satellite. This will put a lot of challenge for us. Just now, our administrator has already briefed on the 3 major innovations we have made for this mission, so I will not elaborate on that again. We have paid a lot of attention to ensure that our mission can adapt to the environment of the moon. The third challenge is the changes in our plan, because we officially started our Chang'e-6 mission in August 2020. The mission was launched in May of 2024. So in this short span of time, we have to ensure that we meet all the conditions. And also we have added international play roles. That requires us to update our satellite, relay satellite. We have done a lot of research and verification works to ensure that we can also accommodate future tasks that require us to have a forward-looking vision and adapt to real challenges. So we have done a lot of work in the past 1.5 years. And I have mentioned the issue of international play roles. We made the promise to the international community that we will take 5 kilograms of the module, 10 kilograms of the module for international play roles. In the past 1+ years, we have to work with the teams of other countries to ensure that the international play roles can perfectly merge with our own. Because we have different research standards, so we need to ensure that our standards can dovetail with one another. So generally, we can say that we have completed all those missions successfully. This mission is also an asset for us because it has helped us to accumulate experience for future missions. We all know that the far side of the moon is very complicated and the communication is limited. So in its 53-day mission, what advanced technologies or strategies were used to ensure the safety landing and effective sampling? And also, what measures have the research team done to ensure the credibility of the module? Thank you for your question. The sampling and return of Chang'e-6 from the far side of the moon is a very difficult mission that we have realized since the very beginning. The geological composition of the far side of the moon is very complicated, and the timing for sampling is short. When the module was landing from the far side of the moon, we cannot offer support back here on the Earth to calculate the orbit. So we have designed a lunar retrograde orbit and auto sampling and auto landing. By doing this, we can ensure the credibility in the landing and sampling process. So what have we done to ensure the success of this mission? My colleague has already briefed you on that. I want to add something more to that. First, we have improved the integration and the design of the probe based on systems thinking. You may have seen online that we have already used the experience from previous missions, and in this process, we have put into consideration the differences between Chang'e-5 and Chang'e-6 probe and the sampling areas, as well as the sunlight and other differences. We have designed a east to west orbit to optimize the system. Second, throughout the research process, we have strengthened risk control to ensure the credibility and reliability of the probe. We have used aerospace product assurance methods to identify and control the potential technological risks. And we have also inherited the aerospace spirit to ensure zero defect by working in a strict, prudent, careful, and practical way. And we have applied the measures to check the quality of components to ensure that we do not let go of any doubt, hidden danger, or problem. By doing this, we can do the things right and well at the very first attempt. Throughout the mission, we have undertaken over 1,000 steps. They have all been completed successfully. The CASC's pursuit of perfection in organization and management has also contributed to the complete success of this mission. The CASC has developed a science-based, coordinated, efficient management system with an optimized procedures. By overseeing the quality of all components, elements, and data throughout the process, and through initial verification, independent assessment, credibility test, and verification, we have ensured that the success of our major missions. Last but not least, the success of this mission is attributable to the leadership of CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core, the science-based decisions made by the government, and also the strength of the whole of the nation approach in scientific research. In the future, we will bear in mind our mission to build a strong space nation and ensure the success of our deep space exploration to contribute to the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Thank you. AFB, we know the U.S. law prohibits the U.S. in conducting space cooperation with China. What's your comment? And second question, will U.S. scientists be involved in the research of Chang'e-6 samples? Thank you. Thank you for your question. China is open to space cooperation with the U.S. China had established mechanisms such as the Working Group on Earth Science and Space Science Cooperation and the China-US Civil Space Dialogue Mechanism. At the request of the U.S. side, the CNSA had established a mechanism for the exchange of orbital data between the two countries' Mars probes to evaluate the risks of collision between Mars probes on the orbit, ensure the long-term successful operation of the Mars missions of our two countries. That said, at present, there are some problems and difficulties in China-US space cooperation which are rooted in the Wolf Amendment and other U.S. domestic legislation that prohibits normal exchanges and dialogue between our two countries' space agencies. Since China started its space endeavor, China has achieved all the achievements based on our wisdom and capabilities. The Wolf Amendment hindered the normal exchanges between Chinese and U.S. space agencies, but this cannot prohibit China from making giant steps forward in its space program. I think the US scientists may want to join China in the research of the lunar samples of Chang'e-6, but to ensure that to happen, the US should take practical measures to eliminate the potential stumbling blocks. And as for the competition between China and the US, China will conduct space projects for the peaceful uses of the space. We are always upholding an open and inclusive attitude, and we are open to cooperation with other countries on the basis of equality and mutual benefits. Next question, please.
谢谢。封面新闻记者提问。我们知道此前人类对月球进行了10次的采样返回，但都是在这次。
Mankind has collected lunar samples for 10 times before, all from the near side of the moon. Why does Chang'e-6 choose to collect samples from the South Pole Actic Basin on the far side of the moon? How is different from the samples from the near side, and what will this boost the scientific research of China? Thank you for your question. Chang'e-6 has chosen to land in the South Pole Actic Basin in the far side of the moon because of scientific and technological consideration. As for the scientific and technological challenges and innovation, my colleague has already answered that. Now I'd like to talk it from the scientific perspective. We need to use a relay satellite to land in the far side of the moon. And also, we need to overcome the geological composition in the far side of the moon is more complex than that of the near side, so we need to overcome a lot of challenges. But this can help us to enhance our technology to prepare for even more complicated lunar mission in the future. On scientific research, the South Pole Actic Basin is the largest, deepest, and oldest impact crater in Moon. Study its geological structure, material composition, and evolutionary history will help to understand the geological evolution history of the Earth in its early days. So far, the 10 lunar samples collected by mankind have been samples from the near side of the moon. The samples collected by Chang'e-6 can help us to study the dichotomy of the moon and gain a complete understanding of the moon. And samples collected this time may contain deep lunar materials, which will provide valuable data for the study of the moon's internal composition and evolution. Therefore, the choice of the location this time can help us make major breakthrough in scientific research and promote the advancement of the lunar exploration technology, reflecting the multiple significance of Chang'e-6 mission. The samples from the far side of the moon may differ from that in the near side in its mineral and chemical compositions. Studying these samples can help scientists understand more comprehensively the material composition and the geological evolution of the moon, and helps to understand the moon's internal structure and material compositions. The samples from the far side of the moon may have been exposed to the impact of the moon in the early days, which can help us to understand the internal structure and material compositions of the moon. The South Pole Actic Basin is an impact crater can help us understand the evolution, early evolution, and collision history of the solar system, and promote the development of comparative planetary studies. I'd like to add something to what my colleagues has already said. I will explain it in plain terms. In sampling, we can see that the far side of the moon is different from the near side of the moon because the samples are more loose in the near side, but in the far side, the samples are more intense. They more contain more materials. So we have high hopes that the samples from the far side of the moon may be different from that of the near side.
第三排最靠边上那一列，对，穿蓝衣服这位，对。你好，那个香港无线电视记者叶哲华提问，想问一下，这次任务历时53天，采集到月
The mission lasted 53 days, and it was the first of its kind to collect soils from the far side. What part was the most difficult and challenging? Hong Kong Polytechnic University team was involved. So how did their design help the team overcome difficulties? And will there be more collaboration in the future?
这个是这样，这个我们这个月球样品啊，应该说
The samples
得到了这个香港理工大学
received
这个特别的支
support
持，因为我们月球
from
采样器的设
the
计是由
Hong Kong
香
Polytechnic
港
University
理工大学的
because the device is designed
荣启亮教授这个
by
团队来
Professor
负责
Rong Qiliang.
研制的，这个而且这个过程啊
And
也很不容易啊，
the
因为它
process
是
is not
原来不
quite
是
easy
航天设计
because
和研制生产的单位。
before
在
that,
这过程当中
it
也
was
克服了
not
很多的
a
困难，但
unit
是这个团队培
responsible
养
for aerospace,
认真负责，
but the team
这个
worked very hard
一丝不苟。这样
and
的话呢，使这个
meticulously.
我们这个采样器啊，应该说这个
And
没有
the
带任何问
device
题上天，不光是
went
嫦
to
娥
space without
嫦娥
any
6号的
questions.
这个实施过程当中也是这样，
Do-
因为我们
in the
嫦娥6号
process
这
of
个采样
Chang'e
工作
6
我认为比
sampling,
嫦娥5号还顺利啊，就是
and I believe Chang'e 6 sampling
每
is
一次
more
产取
smooth
都
than
得到
Chang'e 5.
比原来预想要多的样品。
And
所以
we
啊，我
got
想这个
more
这次
samples
刚
than
才
expected.
问到啊，这个有多重？这个叫
You
成
asked
果可期
the weight of the
另外一个呢，这个
samples.
我
I
们也
think
希望
let's wait and
有
see.
更多的啊，这个香港同胞
And
能
I
够
hope
参加进来，因为我
more
们前期在月球样品
Hong
研究的
Kong
这个过程
researchers
当中
can
啊
be
也有
part
多
of
家
the mission.
咱们香港的这个大学和研究机构
And in the
来
early
申请
stages
并且
of
拿到了
the
样品。我们
mission,
也希望咱们香港的这
we
些
had a lot
参
of
加研究的
applications
机构
from
和学
Hong
校
Kong
能够
University
出好的
professors.
成果。当
And
然
we
嫦娥
hope
6号
we
这
can
个
have
成
good
果还
results
不可
with
期
their
也
help.
希望他们能够踊跃参加。
And
谢
I
谢。
would like welcome their participation.
谢谢主持人，凤凰卫视记者提问。那么我们知道，嫦娥6号所采集的月壤的样本，特别是值得期待
The
的。那么这一
Chang'e 6
次的月壤
samples
样本的
have drawn
这种
a lot
研
of
究和
attention. How will these
申
samples
请机制
be
是什么样的
studied,
是
and
否
how
会向
can
国外的科研团
foreigners
队开放
apply
申请
for a part of the samples to research for research? Will the application be open to research teams in other countries? Thank you for your question. I know a lot of attention have been given to the first samples from the far side of the moon. On lunar and deep space exploration, China has always championed international cooperation to advance joint study and application of lunar samples and ensure that the outcomes of scientific advancement can be shared by all. China National Space Administration has formulated measures for the management of lunar samples and measures for the management of lunar samples and international cooperation on science data, detailing the application process for lunar samples for research processes and international cooperation. China welcomes the application of researchers from all countries in accordance with the due procedures to share the benefits. Thank you.
总台 CGTN 的提问：中国探月工程到今年已经20周年了。
China's lunar program was launched 20 years ago. Since then, from images of the moon to first ever lunar landing on the far side to retrieval of lunar soils. And China's moon exploration has never stopped. What are the plans for China's deep space exploration and any other key tasks in China's space program? Going forward, we will focus on two areas, namely lunar exploration and the planetary exploration. After the success of Chang'e-6, we will have Chang'e-7 and Chang'e-8. Chang'e-7 will run resource surveys in the lunar polar region. Chang'e-8 will carry out technical verification of in situ utilization of lunar resources. This is our goal. Going forward, we will also work with international counterparts to discuss the International Lunar Research Station and the sharing of lunar sci-tech results. On planetary exploration, the project has been approved by the state, includes 4 missions scheduled to be completed in 10 to 15 years. Tianwen first was a complete success in 2011. It kicked off China's deep space exploration far beyond the moon. In the future, deep space missions like asteroid exploration, Mars samples return, Jupiter system exploration will be carried out focusing on the origin and evolution of the solar system, the impact of small bodies, and the solar activity on Earth, and the search for extraterrestrial life. Among them, Tianwen second is planned to be launched in 2025, with the goal of accompanying and returning samples from a near-Earth asteroid. Tianwen third is a Mars sampling and return mission, planned to be launched around 2030, to return to Earth with Mars samples. Tianwen 4th is a mission to explore the Jupiter system, planned to be launched around 2030. At present, Tianwen 3rd and Tianwen 4th are actively carrying out related key technology research and deepening the verification of the implementation program. We will also verify the implementation of major national sci-tech projects and major space projects, such as heavy lift carrier rockets and reusable space transportation systems. And we will also strengthen basic research, develop faster key core technologies, and promote the innovation of space science, space technology, and space applications. So going forward, in the next 10 years, we will have several press conferences here.
谢谢主持人。北京青年报记者提问：在大家都等待嫦娥6号带回来的采样惊喜的同时，我想先问一下，嫦娥5号带回来的。
I want to ask a question about the Chang'e 5 samples. In December 2020, Chang'e 5 has brought back 1,731 grams of samples from the Earth. Over the past 3+ years, how have these samples been studied? Are there any myths of the moon that have been unveiled? Thank you for your question. The samples of Chang'e 5 was collected more than 3 years ago. They are collected from the near side of the moon. They are basalt from the near side of the moon. Over the past 3 years, Chinese scientists have conducted scientific research and achieved a lot of results. Many have been published on Nature, Science, National Science Review, and many other important academic journals. More than 100 high-quality essays were published in such areas as lunar geology and geochemistry, lunar chronology, space weathering, impact class and impact process, and the utilization of lunar samples. One of the biggest discoveries is the finding that basalt collected by Chang'e-5 was formed by volcanic eruption 2 billion years ago, which is completely beyond the research results of the Apollo samples, extending the volcanic activity of the moon by nearly 1 billion years. It was also found that the Chang'e-5 lunar samples were a new kind of lunar basalt that was formed by a new mechanism of magmatism, filling a gap in the lunar sampling missions of the US and former Soviet Union. The Chang'e stone discovered in this mission, together with other geochemical features, all suggest that the volcanic materials of the late geological evolution of the moon were formed in a very special environment. Chinese scientists have also discovered a wealth of weathering products, including hydroxylated water and nano iron. Thank you. Currently, China has started the first international application for the Chang'e-5 lunar samples. And we will brief the media in due course about follow-up actions.
谢谢主持人，中央广播电视总台记者，想提问发布人。总书记在贺电中指出。
In his congratulatory message, General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out that over the past 20 years, a high-quality, high-efficiency road of lunar exploration has been taken. So how do we understand the high quality and high efficiency of the lunar exploration projects? I will say one thing, and then my colleagues will add more points. Our lunar program has been 20 years. Over the past 20 years, this program has gone ahead, achieved the targets within the time frame and within the budget. Because I worked in this field for longer, so I will say a few more things. I think General Secretary Xi Jinping was quite right. Actually, China was late in lunar program. Before that, many countries already had lunar programs. We already had over 100 lunar programs, so China starts quite late. On the basis of other countries' technologies, we have made, summarized, and in light of China's conditions, we have the strategy of orbiting, landing, and returning. This strategy has driven the development of our deep space exploration. It has expanded our understanding of the moon. So we didn't spend much and it didn't take much time, but we had very good results. A lot of international experts and institutions are working with us because they see we have worked very hard and we have achieved so many successes, and it can give a boost to their confidence. This is a very good example. On technology, and I think our technology has improved a lot. In Chang'e first mission, we don't have not have deep space, these technologies. But over the past 20 years, we have developed so many complicated and sophisticated technologies. So over the past 20 years, we have formed a team and carved out a path and generated so many results. So General Secretary Xi Jinping was right.
Next question, please.
第二排这位男记者，对。
谢谢主持人。南方日报南方家记者提问：我们看到嫦娥6号此次携带了法国、意大利、欧空。
We see that Chang'e-6 also carried payloads from France, Italy, ESA, and Pakistan. Can you tell us more about that? And what international cooperation will there be in the follow-up missions?
您提了一个问题啊，我们中国我刚才说到航天合作。
I just mentioned that.
充分
We always want deeper cooperation with international counterparts. Thank you. There is so much interest in international payload of Chang'e-6. We had 4 payloads. On May 8th, the Pakistani Cube satellite. After Chang'e-6 performed a near-moon braking procedure, captured images of the moon and sent them back. On May 10th, CNSA handed over the data to the Pakistani side. On June 2nd, after combination of the lander-ascender touchdown on the moon, the radar machinery instrument with France, the negative ion instrument with ESA, were up and running, and the passive laser retroflector with Italy was in operation. The radar measuring instrument worked for 32 hours on the lunar surface, and the negative ion instrument 3 hours and 15 minutes. So they have done a pretty good job. China has, guided by the principles of equality, mutual benefit, peaceful utilization, and inclusive development, carried various cooperation with the multinational space and research institutions. In missions such as Chang'e 4, Chang'e 5, Chang'e 6, and Tianwen, first, including payload carrying measurement and control support, orbit data exchange, and joint research on lunar samples. 6 international payloads have been selected for the follow-up Chang'e 7 mission. Last year, we made an announcement of international cooperation opportunities for Chang'e 8, with 200 kilograms of payload capacity, and have received more than 30 letters of intent. In the International Lunar Research Station, CNSA has signed cooperation documents with more than 10 countries.
目前呢，中方正在制定这个可行性研究工作。
Right now, we are working on the verification program.
这个未来项目的任务
And will carry out extensive cooperation with partners in joint verification, joint design, technical cooperation, joint implementation. Thank you.
Next question. Last 2 questions, please.
你好，香港南环评电室记者提问。想问一下，就是国家载人航天工程办公室之前宣布完成第4批预备航天员的选拔工作。
China has announced it has selected 4 batches of astronauts for China's space projects. One of them is from Hong Kong. What training has they undergone to prepare for their future missions? The relevant missions are still ongoing. Please stay tuned for the official website of CNSA for relevant update information. Next question, please. In the launching, orbiting, landing, ascent, and return processes of Chang'e-6, what are the carefully designed steps? And what are the considerations behind these steps?
我想这儿应当是胡总最有发言权了，请胡总来回答。
这个
Thank you for your interest in these small steps. First, when launching the probe, we did not foresee a huge heavy rain. So before the launch, the launching pad has witnessed strong winds and heavy rains. This is something that is unpredicted. But after the rain, we have also seen a rainbow. This has surprised us. A lot of people have shown a lot of interest in the work of the probe on the moon. Many people have discussed about the pattern of the sampling. This, of course, is not designed by us. This is for everyone's imagination. The pattern of the sampling, for this, many people have asked whether this is carefully designed to showcase this pattern. But I'd like to invite all to use your imagination to think. I have several things to add. I'd like to invite our friends from the media to guess the lander and the orbiter. When they have landed, we have seen a picture of it. How was this picture taken? This is attributable to the genius of us scientists. On the probe, we have installed a very sensitive, smart camera. Then, when the missions was completed, this camera can be unloaded from the probe automatically to shoot this photo. We have seen a lot of discussion on this on the internet. Thank you. That's the end of today's press conference. See you next time.